Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about what to do if your Social Security payment is late. Now, I know that is an intensely stressful situation because millions of people who rely on Social Security are just one missed payment away from disaster. We know that statistically, over 21.8 million US seniors live solely on their Social Security benefits. They don't have any other significant form of income. And of those, 7.3 million live below the poverty line, which means their monthly income is going to be really, really low. Now, when your payment is late, even if it's just a few days late, it can cause serious issues with paying bills, getting your medications on time, and more. And that's why I want to talk about this today, because every month when we do that recap of when your payments are going to come in, we hear from people who aren't getting their payments on the schedule that was set out. And that's really concerning. So we want to talk about what you can do if this happens to you. But first, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Chapter Medicare. This is the only service that can look at every plan, whether that's going to be Original Medicare, Part D, Medicare Advantage, whatever, and figure out what plan you should have for the doctors that you want to see, the medications that you take, the services that you need, and so on and so forth. So if you give them a call, they are fully committed to giving you the absolute best service and helping you choose the best plan, even if it's not a plan that they specifically offer. So if you get Medicare, I highly recommend that you give them a quick call. It only takes about 20 minutes, and they help seniors save an average of over $1,000 a year. So make sure that you go check that out. It's a very valuable service. Now, those Social Security payments, right? Some payments pay consistently on the first, sometimes it's consistently on the third, but most people who receive benefits get that based on the Wednesday schedule, which is based on the birthday of the person whose record is being used to determine those benefits. And if your payment date falls on a federal holiday, then usually that payment is going to be made on the business day before. So you're not going to risk having a late payment, right? Sometimes, I guess technically it could be on the next non-holiday business day, but that's pretty rare. It's usually the day before. But the really big thing that you need to know right now, because this is going to start affecting people in just a few days, is that the United States Treasury has decided to stop issuing paper checks. So if you're one of the millions of people who still receives a paper Social Security check, those are stopping September 30th. And your October payment may be delayed if you haven't already set up direct deposit or set yourself up on Direct Express. You need to make sure to do that right away to minimize any disruption to your benefits. I would strongly recommend that you take action on that right now because you definitely don't want to delay. If you need help with that, we have another video that goes over the process of how to do that. And I would recommend that you go check that out as well for that assistance. Now let's talk about some other reasons why your benefits may be delayed, because there are actually a surprising number of reasons that this could happen to you. One of those is obviously if it's a new benefit application, there's a whole lot of processing that has to happen before that first payment can come in. So we're talking about, medical proof, verification processes, waiting for certain people to get back with certain information. It can add weeks or months to that timetable. The good news is if you're waiting on a new application, you do get paid for the time that you're waiting. They will backdate that to the date of your application once your case is decided. But there are other situations where maybe you've been getting Social Security for a while and then suddenly that payment is late. And that can be really, really concerning when that happens. There are a lot of reasons why that can happen, including recent changes like a change of address, maybe you moved, or maybe you needed to update your bank information and that caused a delay. Banking problems are another huge source of delays, right? If your account is closed or you maybe have the wrong routing or account number in there, or maybe your bank merges with another bank and then some of the details change, or you have, overdraft fees and then the account closes. There's all sorts of different banking related reasons why there could potentially be an issue. Additional reasons why you might end up with a delayed check is if your mail has been returned as undeliverable, because they may suspend your benefits while they try to verify your address and information. Failure to report changes, especially if you're on supplemental security income, can be a big issue, especially if you've moved or maybe you've changed your citizenship or residency status or you've been incarcerated. Those are all things that could potentially cause an issue. And, if they just need to reach you and they can't, sometimes your payments will be put on hold as well. Now that you know the why, let's talk about what you should do about it, because really that's the big issue, right? If your money didn't arrive on time, you're going to want to take action on that because it's a really stressful situation to be in. So, first, check the payment schedule, right? Verify when your payment should have arrived. Check your My Social Security account or our most recent schedule video. We put out one every month. I think this is really important because I hear from a lot of different people in the comment section about how I'm wrong, and that astounds me because I get that information straight from the Social Security Administration. So either something's going on and you're not getting your benefits when you're supposed to, or maybe you don't understand which schedule you're on. But either way, definitely go check that out with the Social Security Administration or with one of our videos that comes from their data so that you know when those payments should be coming in. Second thing, look at your bank account. Check online, make a call, see if you can see a pending deposit or a rejected deposit. Okay. Sometimes if you call your bank, they can give you additional information on maybe what's going on or if there's some sort of administrative hold or something that's interfering with that deposit. That can be a really helpful way to go. And then next, you need to look at maybe your life and any recent changes that you may have had. Did you move recently? Did you switch banks? Did you close an old account? Did a routing number change? Did they merge banks? Was there some sort of change that maybe Social Security didn't know about that could have caused this delay, right? If there is, you'll want to report that to them. If there's not, you need to just wait a few days. And I know that's the hardest thing, to just sit and wait when you're in that kind of panic mode. But the Social Security Administration does request that you wait at least 3 full business days before reaching out to them. Now, in that time, you can reach out to your bank over and over again. I would recommend no more than once a day, but they can tell you if they're holding funds or if there's an error or if they're seeing any movement in the account. Now, if 3 business days pass and there's still no payment in there, definitely call the Social Security Administration. And when you call, make sure that you have your Social Security number on hand, as well as your bank and routing number and your mailing address. Now, they have rolled out some changes about how you have to change your payment information. So you may have to make an appointment. You may have to go in and see people. You may have to jump through other hoops, but be prepared to do that because making sure those payments come in on time is really important. Now, that probably wasn't surprising to you, right? That's pretty standard info. But what I'm here to tell you is what to do if that becomes a crisis. Because if you're expecting your money to come in on the 1st or the 3rd and it doesn't, what about your rent? What about your mortgage? What about your utilities? What about your food? How are you going to survive? Those are the questions that low income relief was designed to answer. And so if that is happening, then you need to call 211 right away because they can help connect you with additional resources in your community. You can also reach out to your community action agency. They are a tremendous resource. They can connect you with all sorts of different programs and resources and things that may be able to assist you. Okay. When you're going through this process, you want to make sure you start with your essentials first. You need somewhere to live. Make sure you get help with your rent and mortgage right off the bat. You're going to need food. If you need medications, you're going to need to look at any options that may be able to assist you with that. Make sure your utilities are covered. Get those foundational things figured out first before you worry about things like credit cards or car payments or things like that, because you need to make sure you're taking care of you. Now, if you call your utility company and tell them, hey, my Social Security payment didn't come in on time, I am working on this, I'm expecting it by this date, this is what's going on, often they will be able to give you some sort of hardship extension or payment plan or something that will help tide you over until that happens, especially if you tell them that you're applying for some sort of other financial assistance. Usually they won't shut off your utilities or do anything crazy like that. Landlords can be harder to work with, but there are a lot of charities out there that can help you pay your rent, and we have a whole separate video on that can help you out. If you need food, we have a video on the top 10 ways to get free food. That is a tremendous resource. Right off the bat, I would recommend reaching out to your local food banks, contacting Lasagna Love. They're an organization that can help you with one free meal. Local churches in your area, things like that, because they can usually hook you up with things to help you get through that crisis. We have tons and tons of videos on emergency assistance. So please, if your Social Security payment is late and it becomes a financial crisis for you, go check out all those videos and look into all of those resources because they're there to help you. Now, the best ways to prevent this from becoming a problem for you in the future is to make sure you're on direct deposit or you're getting direct express because that's faster, safer, and avoids mail delays, right? That's why they're phasing out paper checks. Keep your information updated. If you change your address, if your bank changes or your name changes or anything like that that can mess up those benefits, make sure you tell Social Security right away. Create a My Social Security account. This is the official account on the official SSA.gov website. It's a great way to track your payments, check your notices, update your information really quickly. And of course, you can also always scratch that. And of course, keep those key phone numbers handy. Make sure you have the right number for the Social Security Administration so that you're not accidentally calling a scammer. Make sure you have the right phone number for your bank and keep the number for 211 handy as well, because that can be a great resource too. Another one I failed to mention was your area agency on aging. They're another great resource that can help hook you up with different resources in your area too. And of course, if you have Medicare, contact our sponsor chapter right away because they can help you navigate your options and make sure you're getting the most out of those benefits. And I will be back soon with more ways that you can save money and get free stuff. I'll see you there.